Good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome to Daily Rates Live with the Mortgage Calculator. Today we are going to be talking about ITIN borrower loans. So give us a minute here to go live on all the different platforms. We appreciate everybody tuning in nice and early. Hope everybody had a great week. Go ahead and drop a comment there in the chat as you tune in. We appreciate it. And it looks like we're live on all the platforms here, so we'll go ahead and get it started. What we'll do is we'll take the chat off the screen for now, but go ahead and keep dropping comments there in the chat as you tune in. Also drop any questions you have in the chat as we go through our deep dive presentation here on ITIN borrower loans. But we'll go ahead and get it started here. All right, so welcome everyone. My name is Kyle Hershey. I am the COO of the Mortgage Calculator, joined here by our president, Nick Hershey, and our sales manager, Jose Gonzalez. We are a lender that specializes in non-QM loans, and what we do every weekday on this show at 11 a.m. Eastern is go through our actual live mortgage rates. Then we do a deep dive into a different loan type, and today's loan type is going to be ITIN borrower loan. So we did 4 nationals this week as well, so going right along with that, we'll talk about the ITIN loans today. But before we do that, let's check out the rates. So it's definitely been interesting lately. So Nick, if you're ready, let's go ahead and pull up today's rates and see what they are looking like.
All right. So yeah, lots of activity and lots of downward momentum lately. So that's great. We will check out the rates for today. We have our initial rates issued for today. It is July 12th, just after 11 a.m. Eastern. So the first set of rates are standard and out right now. We will compare across a standard scenario to compare the APRs. If you'd like a full breakdown of all the fees that go into the APR and itemized loan estimate, please get with our team members. They would be happy to help you out. For all of our scenarios, we'll set up a standard single family home. We'll set up a $500,000 purchase price, $400,000 loan amount. That corresponds to 80% loan, 20% down payment. And we'll set an estimated credit score of 760 and an estimated debt to income ratio of 40%. So with those basic settings, let me go ahead and share my screen. And we'll make it big. All right, so the first option that most people think of when they think of a standard mortgage is a 30-year fixed conventional loan for a primary home. So today rates come in at 6.375, final APR 6.684, which is definitely lower than it's been in the last few weeks. Definitely love to see the downward momentum. Now, if anybody doesn't qualify for a conventional option, we typically want to quote an FHA option. FHA allows more leniency on credit issues, as well as a higher debt to income ratio, but does require upfront and yearly mortgage insurance. FHA today comes in at 5.625, final APR 6.569. So notice if our customer qualifies for both, they may want to check out the FHA. It's a touch cheaper, but it does require that mortgage insurance. And our customers that need to use it, definitely a very good option, as it is very comparable here to conventional. Now for our eligible vets and active service members, we do have our VA loans. So VA loans are great for those that are eligible. Rates come in today as low as 5.75, final APR just a touch above 6 at 6.043. So notice for any of our eligible vets or service members, this program is going to be preferable as it beats FHA and conventional when we're comparing side by side. So definitely take advantage if you are eligible. And our final agency government program is a USDA program. USDA is only for properties that are in USDA eligible areas, the rural areas of the country. So if our borrower and our property is eligible, this is a great option. Rates today for USDA with all the fees included come in at 5.625, final APR 6.383. So notice if we're comparing, our customers typically going to be comparing to an FHA. So USDA is going to be a touch cheaper, as well as a touch cheaper than conventional. So great option if our property and borrowers are eligible. Now that rounds out our standard options that any other bank or lender has. But if our customer doesn't qualify, many other banks or lenders have to deny that customer. But we love to present our 5,000 additional options. First on the list here, our 30-year fixed non-QM program using alternative docs for a primary home. So if our customer doesn't qualify for conventional, needs to use alternative docs for some reason, using a bank statement or similar, We also have 1099, P&L, asset related, all kinds of different options here. But this is probably a bank statement option, rates as low as 6.75 and a final APR of 7.088. Now moving on to our investment properties. Lots of flexibility with our investment property options. First up is our non-QM alt doc option. So again, bank statement are similar for an investment property. Rates as low as 7.125. Final APR comes in at 7.474. And we'll compare that to our other investment property options. There are no government programs available, so no FHA, VA, or USDA, but we do have our conventional option for an investment property. So conventional comes in today, 7.25 rate, final APR 7.611. So notice our alt doc option is cheaper today, which is a great option. But recommend our investors check out our favorite loans, our DSCR options. So DSCR stands for debt service coverage ratio. If the estimated rents can cover the expenses, aka the property cash flows, that's a DSCR ratio of 1 or higher, which is preferred. No income or employment is needed for these loans, just a DSCR ratio. For all the demos here, we used a ratio of 1.5, so we could see all the programs pop up. First up is our options with our 3-year prepayment penalty. Rates come in today as low as 6. Shot. And some of our programs will buy along with a 5-year prepayment penalty to improve the rate even more. Rates as low as 6.5%. Final APR 6.828, which beats conventional substantially. And our final DSCR option we have here in our demo is our no prepayment penalty option. Some states do not allow a prepayment penalty, and some investors don't want one. That's not a problem. We have rates as low as 7.375, final APR 7.715. Almost identical to conventional to use a DSCR loan, which is absolutely amazing. And I definitely recommend our investors check out the ones with the prepay, as it improves it quite a bit there. And our final demos here, very popular request. Many of our customers already have a low rate first mortgage but need cash out. There are options to get a HELOC, but those are a little more expensive. Our favorite options here are our 30-year fixed second mortgage options, which are non-QM programs for a primary home. So our customers can get cash out, rates as low as 8.125, final APR 8.278 for a 30-year fixed second mortgage rather than a variable rate HELOC, which also typically comes at higher rates. So a great option for our customers that want to keep their first mortgage but still need some cash. And our investors, same program, 30-year fixed non-QM second mortgage for investment properties. So again, we can use bank statements and other types of income as well on these. Rates as low as 9.875, final APR 10.124 to get cash out of an investment property without having to do a HELOC, which are very rare for investment properties in general. And now let me switch the screen and we'll get into today's topic, where Jose is going to discuss our ITIN borrower options. So as usual, we have all kinds of variations that are eligible for our different borrower types. We already talked about foreign nationals, what they are and what they aren't. And our ITINs are a certain subset. Many people are confused on what that means. So Jose, first, let's talk about what that specific subset is, and then we'll check out all the programs we have for those borrowers.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us for Daily Rates Live with the Mortgage Calculator. So yes, yesterday we talked about foreign nationals, and we were, I guess, looking at like our borrower totem pole, right? Where the foreign nationals were at the bottom, as they do not have legal status in the U.S. They don't work in the U.S. They're not U.S. citizens, right? They're foreign nationals. So that's a pretty restrictive financing there, but probably one of the easiest loans you may do, as long as your borrower has the 25% down payment for the purchase. The ITIN borrower also does not have legal status in the U.S., but they are working legally in the U.S. They have U.S.-based credit, and they are living full-time in the U.S. The only similarity they may have with the foreign national borrower has to do with the fact that they do not have their permanent residency status. They're not really considered non-permanent resident aliens with a legal status. But we do have financing options for them. The ITIN sector, along with bank statements and DSC are probably the hottest sectors in the market for secondary. So we are seeing a lot of liquidity in these sectors, which equals more program options for ITINs, great rates, improving LTVs. So let me get right into it right here and share our ITIN loan options for you. Our first option here is our full doc primary. Now, 85% is our max LTV for this product. This is a non-QM product, so as always, never any mortgage insurance applicable at any LTVs, normally at 80.01% or above. On agency loans, mortgage insurance is applicable, not for VA, of course, but for USDA, FHA, and conventional. So here we're looking at our lowest cost option, 8.499 with a cost of 1.25 points. And you can buy that down all the way to 7.999. So 15% down here for our ITIN full doc primary purchase. Now, your full doc for the ITIN, be aware, it's probably not going to be a W-2 employee, right? It's probably going to be a self-employed borrower. Because in order to receive a W-2 from an employer, you have to have a social security number, and the ITIN borrower has an ITIN, right? Their individual taxpayer identification number, which is a number that they use to be able to file a tax return. So if you do get a full doc ITIN borrower with W-2s, please look into that a little bit more closely, because you could have a situation where they may be working with a social security number that is not theirs. So that was 85%. And then like putting a little context into the situation here with our 80% option. So you do see rates do get better. 8.749 now is at par at our 80%, 20% down option. 80% LTV, and 7.999. Don't forget that last 9. Lowest rate option, 1.625 points is the cost there. And now we have bank statements. I'm going to give you all the income types here, which is pretty amazing. Again, 85% LTV for our bank statement option for ITIN. That's only 5% less than our non-ITIN borrowers. So this is a great opportunity for our ITIN borrowers. 8.499 is our lowest cost option, 1.4 points. And you can buy that down to 7.999 at a cost of 2.275 points. And it gets better. 1099. Now this is 80%. Max LTV on this one, primary, and 9% is our lowest cost option at par, which is nice. And you can buy that down to 7.875, our lowest rate option, 2.4 points for our 20% down, 1099 ITIN primary purchase. And staying at the 80% LTV tier, P&L, next option, that is our maximum LTV for the P&L option. 9% is our lowest cost option, again, at par. And our lowest rate option, 7.875 at a cost, again, of 2.4 points for our 20% down P&L option. That stands for profit and loss report option for a primary purchase for an ITIN borrower. And now our investment options for ITIN. This is where it gets super interesting. 80% LTV is the max LTV for our ITIN investment property loans. And this is our full doc option, 20% down, 7.625. Wow. Is our lowest cost option at a cost of 1.25 points. And you can buy that down all the way to a previously unheard of 6.75 at a cost of 3.5 points. And remember, folks, this is for an investment property, right? This is just compare this to Fannie Mae full doc investment purchase at 80%, and you'll probably see similar costs. Now, our bank statement option, still almost equally as good, 7.625 lowest cost option at a cost of 1.4 points. And you can buy that down to 6.875 at a cost of 3.4 points. And again, now this one is using bank statements, 80% LTV, only 20% down for an investment purchase. So again, if you were to compare this to a conventional loan for a national borrower going full doc, you would probably see similar rates. And this is ITIN, so which makes it even more incredible. Now our 1099 option, again, 20% down, 80% LTV, a little bit riskier program with the 1099. So we have 9.375 is our lowest cost option at a half a point. And you can buy that down to 7.49 at a cost of 3.4 points for a 1099 investment purchase. And now our profit and loss investment purchase with only 20% down, lowest cost option, 9.375% rate at a cost of 1.025 points. And you can buy that down all the way to 7.75% at a cost of 3.275. And as we like to say, but wait, there's more. Now, I want you to compare these rates to what you just saw, right? So this is our DSCR purchase, 25% down for an ITIN borrower. And look at that, 7.125% is our lowest cost option at a cost of 1.4 points. And you can buy that down to 6.75 at a cost of 2.65 points. And this is not a typo. This is DSCR ITIN investment purchase with 25% down. And our last couple options here, time permitting, show you some cash out options. So again, we go straight to the jugular here, right? DSCR investment cash out refinance ITIN, 70% LTV. That is amazing. I remember in the not too far off past, we would struggle to find ITIN options for bank statements at a 75%. Now we're looking at DSCR and for a purchase. And now we're looking at DSCR cash out 70%. 8.625 is at par, which is awesome. We actually have a par rate here. And look at that rate, totally incredible. 6.875 is our lowest rate option at a cost of 3.275 points. And our last option here, a very popular bank statement option for ITIN borrowers on an investment property for a cash out refinance. And look at that, 75% LTV. 8.99 is our lowest cost option at a cost of 0.25 points. And you can buy that down all the way to 7.25% at a cost of 3.275 points. So definitely look to the mortgage calculator for all of your ITIN borrower needs, non-QM, agency, commercial. We have our loan consultants trained to add value to your transaction and provide exemplary service.
All right. Thank you, Jose. I do not see any questions here, but a great thing to go over here today, and great to know the difference between what we went over earlier with the foreign nationals as well. Still no questions came in, so we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Remember, we do this at 11 a.m. Eastern every weekday, where we go through the live rates and then do a deep dive into a different loan type. So we will be back next week. We'll see you all on Monday at 11